watching M.O.D Entertainment. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and check out the website to get the gear. The link will be in the description.
Voice music.
From the land of the gang signs and blue rags, where we post up, never hesitate to blast. Where the weak don't last and the strong end up on the map. From the Golden State, where the real just be at. From the LA County, homie, where we know to bang. Shit is nothing growing up, you knew you had a back. Put it down for the vital, never will I rank. Ponte ducha all the time, you better watch your back. Cause she'll crack up, homie, it don't matter where you at. This is real gangster shit, only talking facts. It's the truth, ain't no lie, we don't need no caps. Just a Glock, stolen whip, in a Blasky mask. Shit is nothing busting hollers, we don't need to brag. From the
G-File.
Now, starting off right here at the end already of the SGV's retake portion, you have the only neighborhood that's within this area. You know, right here, the place they call home. You have the San Dimas Rifa neighborhood. You know, San Dimas is the only gang within San Dimas, Hispanic. You know what I mean? The only Hispanic gang right here. Now, their neighborhood is located right there. Was near Pioneer Park. You know, so through those back ends and all that is what's considered the neighborhood. Everything that's from Alkesia and Cataract Avenue, everything in the middle is what's considered their neighborhood. So what's west of Calora Street, Nobia Street, I think that's how you pronounce that street. So throughout all those homes, you know, and back streets and all of that, it's what's considered their neighborhood. You know what I mean? Right there from Arrow Highway all the way to Pioneer Park. You know, so everything that's in the middle is what's considered theirs. Like I said, don't ever judge an area just going based on the way it looks. They do get it on and cracking. It does crack over here, you know. Even though people think like, well, what's out there? You know what I mean? You know, like, well, who do they beef it with? Like, they go at it heavily with Laverne. Laverne is, you know, and them definitely have some, you know, some beef. Not only that, but you also have the Crips there, like the 200 block Crips, who are also right there in the area, and you know, it's a battle for territory, homie. It's just the way it goes, you know. Don't ever, you know, go based on how it looks and stuff like that. Like I said, homie, it gets on and cracking anywhere. You know what I mean? These guys have their riders, representatives, they're down homies, you know what I mean? Stuck doing time and putting it down for them. But yeah, that's what's up with the San Dimas. Definitely representing, putting theirs on the map and holding it down for their barrio, you know what I mean? Now, another neighborhood that you have located in this side, you know what I mean? One of the, you know, few neighborhoods, you know, within this region, you have Laverne Rifa, not to be confused with Little Valley Rifa, you know what I mean? Because of the same abbreviations. Laverne is located in the only neighborhood in Laverne. Now, their neighborhood is from what's, Wheeler Avenue, and from Wheeler Avenue all the way to Bonita. From Bonita, I would say to B Street, and from B Street, I would probably say all the way to Fairplex. So what's Fairplex and A Street. So everything through those back ends, and all throughout A Street, all throughout Park Avenue, you know, first, second, third, all of that is, you know, close to the Kunz Park. Like I said, all that areas was considered theirs, you know what I mean? Their domain, their dojo, where they get it on and cracking, homie, you know what I mean? Where it be going down, you know what I mean? Close to the Live Oak wash right there is what's considered their territory. Like I said, don't ever judge an area based on the way it looks or that it's upper class area, whatever. Like I said, gang members are not made by other gang members, you know what I mean? You don't know what happens behind closed doors, you know what I mean? Like I said, it gets on and cracking, homie, you know what I mean? There's murders and all kinds of shit like that also that happen in these areas, you know what I mean? Despite what individuals want to talk and say and, you know, think, clearly they don't know how the streets work. They think that an area has to look ghetto and gutter in order for there to be acción. But you already know that, you could fall victim anywhere. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's pretty much how it goes down. And Laverne right here definitely been representing and holding it down. That's why they're the only neighborhood within this area, clashing with San Dimas, clashing with the black neighborhood as well. Like I said, it just gets on and popping right here. But that's what's up with Laverne right there, putting it down for theirs. And right here, I'm gonna add the 200 block cribs. On the simple fact that they're the only neighborhood in this side and this region, you know what I mean? So not to forget them and their set, and their riders that hold it down, you know what I mean? Like I said, people try to criticize the area, but the area gets on and cracking, you know what I mean? And right here by the San Dimas is no different. Now the 200 block cribs are located from Cataract all the way to Bonita, and from that all the way to San Dimas Avenue. So everything that runs throughout Commercial Street, Drifting, Railway Street, all of that is what's considered their neighborhood. You know what I mean? Right there throughout Monte Vista as well. You know what I'm saying? Is what's considered their neighborhood. Where they get it on and cracking through those back ends, throughout those cul-de-sacs, is where you can find the 200 block cribs representing it and holding it down. You know what I mean? They're decent sized neighborhoods, so they're not too large, not too small. They're decent sized. Hey, and they handle business, you know what I mean? Like I said, there's action right here that, they don't have the best relationship with the Hispanic gangs right here around this area. That's just the way it is. You already know. It's a game of Eagles. Eagles will clash. They will get it on and cracking. These guys ain't no suckers, you know what I mean? Even though they're out here in the outskirts, they do business, they handle business, and continue to represent for theirs and put theirs on the map, you know what I mean? But that's what's up with the 200 block cribs right there, holding it down for theirs and putting their neighborhood up on the map, you know what I mean? Now here we have the original neighborhood out of this area. Now I know a lot of people like to criticize and like talking, without really knowing, you know what I mean? How areas are now is not how they were back then, you know what I mean? With time, things do get gentrified. People are just, going based off the areas, how they view them now. But that is not how they always have been, you know what I mean? These areas were a little bit different. And some parts are a lot different than what they are now. You have the ALS, or also known as the Alhambra Locals. The AHB, also you can see it up like that. You know what I mean? Different ways of seeing it up. Are the originators out of this area. This was their domain, their dojo. Roughly around the 70s is when they were right here established. They kind of tended to fade away roughly around the mid 90s, late 90s, when they kind of like faded out. Police, amped up, patrols, rounded them up, became, gentrified and pushing families out. Became a lot harder to be established. That's why you don't see them up as much or hear about them as much as, like these other sets and stuff like that. But it is a real thing. And like I said, this area was a lot different than what it was now. You know what I mean? But that is who they are. The place they call their home, and where they do their thing, you know what I mean? But that's what's up with Alhambra Locals right there. All right, now also right here in Alhambra, we have another neighborhood that's located in Alhambra. Only the next other neighborhood, to be really established in this area, because I know that before there was like Eastside Wi-Fi's and 18s and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But and Asian neighborhoods, but the ones that like actually gain territory there and membership and called it home, is the BC neighborhood. Now BC standing for Brook City. Now they're not, even though they established and everything like that, this is not home base for them, you know what I mean? They just migrated here roughly around the 90s, and they are located in several other spots, you know what I mean? I had covered them in the North Hollywood portion, and we'll be doing more on all of that once we get to those episodes. But as right here, they do have a presence right here in Alhambra now. Just like the Alhambra Locals, due to the fact that the area is gentrified, it's expensive to, families to afford to live there, whatever, just makes the neighborhood a lot smaller. That's why you don't see them up as much no more. and all of that. You know what I mean? The neighborhoods right here in Alhambra kind of just faded out. But you know, occasionally you will see it up, or you'll run into somebody from there. And if there's one thing I have learned is nothing never fully dies. So you know, only time will tell. But yeah, that is who they are. You know, this was their home as well, right here in Alhambra. Like I said, what it is now, what it was then, is two different things. Don't ever get it twisted. But yeah, that's what's up with BC Brook City right there, representing, you know, for Alhambra and their side, and putting theirs on the map. And here we have the last neighborhood before entering the Inland Empire. So this is the last neighborhood before going into the IE on this side, which is a CLM neighborhood. Now the CLM neighborhood translates to County Lane Marihuanos. And I was misinformed before. You know what I mean? That was my bad. But this is an old school barrio that has been well right here for a cool minute already. You know what I mean? It's a pretty old school barrio. And now their neighborhood, they got a pretty, you know, chunk size of territory. You know what I mean? Their neighborhood is from East End Avenue all the way to Phillips Boulevard, and from Phillips Boulevard and East End all the way to Mission Boulevard, and from Mission Boulevard all the way to Ramona. And you can find them throughout Pipeline. Throughout all of Pipeline is where you can find this neighborhood. So if you look at it, that's a big chunk of territory. You know what I mean? So what you know, from Pipeline all the way to Rosewell, and from Rosewell even meeting up right there on 9th Street, all the way to Howard Street. Like I said, it's just a big, you know, vast, you know, chunk of territory. You know what I mean? That they control. You know what I mean? These guys, you know, even Olive Grand, you know, is you know, pretty large. And the CLM neighborhood, like I said, is old school. But they're not like a large neighborhood. They have always roughly been like a pretty, you know, decent size, you know, well tight neighborhood, you know, bonded, you know. They don't just let in like anybody and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So even though they're not as large as some of these other neighborhoods, nonetheless they put it down. I mean, people do hear about these guys. You know what I mean? They're legit, despite what people want to say in the comments. Like the haters are gonna say that they died out or whatever. No, they're still around. They're still functioning. They still have homies that put it down for theirs and continue to do so, and representing theirs. You know what I mean? Like I said, whenever people hate, it's always their pride talking. Because the CLM neighborhood takes care of business, and they're still up and continue to represent for their vitals. You know what I mean? That's CLM right there.